live in Facebook, so that then Jamilah will send the link again to you, so that then you can share with your colleagues in the Facebook that this session is going on. So I think without further delay, I think let's start the session now, so that then Jamilah can proceed with what are some of the questions. And I think the whole idea is that we equip the parents with this basic financial literacy when you leave this session, but hopefully also we will be able to have a better appreciation of this issue in light with the pandemic situation that we are facing now. Over to you, dear.
Thank you, Ahmad. And once again, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Selamat pagi, selamat sejahtera to every one of us, every one of you out there who have graciously decided to join us this morning. And we really hope that this short session will enlighten us on how to move forward to educate ourselves as well as our children on how to become more empowered in terms of financial literacy. Now, let me begin with Madam Pui Yee. Congratulations, Madam Pui Yee, for the establishment of Little Tauke.
Thank you.
I sneaked, I went to your website. I could see that you have done quite a bit of work about, focusing on educating children on how they could be better managers. And it starts with parents, isn't it? So
yes.
Could you tell us about yourself, your background, how you came to establish Little Tauke, and what it means to you, why you think that it is really important for us parents to educate ourselves and our children when it comes to financial literacy. Over to you, Madam.
Okay, thank you, Jamilah. Hello, everyone. I'm Pui Yee, the founder of Little Tauke. So previously, I was a relationship manager of 4 banks in Malaysia. So I've been to Maybank, Hong Leong Bank, M-Bank, and CIMB. All right. So I was in charge of managing the wealth of my clients in the bank. So even though I myself is a relationship manager where I manage my clients' wealth, I myself is a good example of financial illiteracy, I would say, because when I work in the bank, I earn good income. Sometimes I can reach 5 figures income every month. But I wasn't saving. So I spend my money on facial, on slimming packages, on handbags, on clothes, and I wasn't saving. So working in bank, especially in the sales line, right, is very stressful because everything is about figures. So to one point of time, I feel so stressful that I want to quit my job. I can't afford to quit because money in my savings account can't last me 6 months without any income. So that's when I start to realize that, hey, I'm a graduate, I have a degree, I earn good incomes every month, 5 figures, but why my financial position is so pitiful, all right? Because it boils down to the way I manage my money, all right? Because nobody ever taught us about money, and most adults, they learn about money by committing costly financial mistakes, just like I did. So I began to think, only if I have a rich dad like Robert Kiyosaki, all right, I could have avoided all these financial mistakes. So that's why I began to search if there's any program that start teaching children at a young age. And that's where I found this program from USA. And I brought this program from USA into Malaysia in 2017. And that's how Little Tauke was founded.
Yeah. So yeah, that's very enlightening, because sometimes it is a desire, personal desire, and you yourself is a testimony. Like all of us, unless I could see when I went to the market and I see some children helping their fathers with selling vegetables. So that's probably some of those who have parents who are entrepreneurs selling nasi lemak or all the food stall have an exposure in terms of financial, but it's very haphazard. So I want to go to Cik Azizi now. And Cik Azizi, so when you're growing up, you becoming your financial coach, and never probably you yourself, would see how this book that you have done has impacted many people, have changed probably many lives in terms of their mindset. So how is it when you grow up, and what was this reason of you moving into this financial and being millionaire that come across to your mind then?
Okay. Thank you, Ahmad. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a wonderful day. Great to be alive. I'm so happy. And thank you for this opportunity that I can share a little bit about finances here. To answer Ahmad's question is, being a financial coach was never in the picture, not in the vocabulary. In fact, even the term financial coach did not exist until about 20 years ago. Similar to Pui Yee, very interesting. Similar to Pui Yee, I'm a pilot by profession and earn a pretty good income as a pilot. I started my career 40 years ago. But within a short while, despite earning a good income, I was practically broke, spending too much money. The classical, the Americans call it too much money left at the end of the money. 20 hari bulan duit sudah habis. So I'm practically broke most of the time.
Kontang.
Yeah. Same, very similar to Pui Yee's case lah. And this went on for a couple of years. In fact, I laugh about it now, but I even had to borrow from my friends, borrow money from my friends just to tide me over until my pay came in. This went on for a few years, couple of years. Then in the end, I got sick and tired of this. I was thinking to myself, how can I live like this? I can't imagine myself doing this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Don't tell me every month I'll be short of money and I have to borrow money for the next 20, 30 years. So I decided, what is wrong here? I'm smart. I like to think that I'm smart. Everybody does. Everybody thinks they're very smart, young, intelligent, hardworking, earning a good income, good job. Yet I was broke. Something is missing from this equation. Then it did not take long to discover that what's missing is financial knowledge. Actually, not my financial knowledge on. When I say financial knowledge, personal finance, what I mean here is personal finance, was not only on the surface level only. It was actually non-existent. In fact, I didn't even know about saving. So can you imagine? Saving, where it all begins. I don't even know about it. To me, at that time, when I was 20 years old, I thought saving was for orang kampung only. I'm a pilot earning, the equivalent. I started my career very young at the age of 19 or 20.
Wow.
Earning, I think, because flying is only 1 year. You study for diploma or degree, it takes 3 years, 4 years, or for doctor, 6, 7 years. About flying, basically just 1 year. So I started immediately after lower 6. I went for pilot training. So by the time I was 19, I came back. I was already working and earning. I think at the time about 2,000 ringgit a month. But this is 40 years ago. 2,000 ringgit a month. I suppose the equivalent of maybe 8,000, 10,000 ringgit today. Yeah. So, but I was. So basically, then I decided, this is not happening, not working. So I decided to educate myself on financial matters. To cut the story short, after, like Pui Yee said, initially by trial and error, but I had one thing going for me. I love to read. So I started to read books on money matters. Although there were not a lot of books at that time, but there was a few. And basically all of them from the West, English books, none in Malaysia. So I started to read books on money matters. And as my knowledge on money matters increased, I became better and better at it. I could see, first of all, I didn't run short of money. 2, I did not have to borrow money. And then I have excess money. And then I had to, I could now have money to save and later on have to invest. So I was very, very happy. So being a millionaire was not a vocabulary then. My only thoughts then was just so that I would not be broke again. But because I love to read, so my knowledge kept increasing and I became better and better. And my finances improved by leaps and bounds. As things went on, then of course, later on, I was, when you get together with your friends, your colleagues, the subject of money will definitely come into the equation one time or another discussion. So then talking, half the time, half the things my friends, my colleagues were mentioning, they were wrong. They were wrong. The concept, the ideas about money was wrong. As wrong as I was, say 5 years, 10 years before. So I tried to correct them. I said, it's not like that, it's like this. But because I'm a pilot, of course, we all Malaysians, we are very polite. You don't actually, we don't put down people. So they don't say that, but I could see from their reaction, their face, their reasoning was, you are a pilot, what do you know about money matters? It didn't match, it didn't match. Of course, then no one knew my name. So I could understand where they're coming from. So I left them alone. But later on, as I became better and better, then I thought, and I discovered even more. I realized that a lot of people were just as blind, as misguided as me about money matters. Then I thought, why not write a book about it? I love to write. I love to read. I love to write. So I thought, why not marry my love of writing with my knowledge on finances? So that's how Billionaires from Different Planet came to be. Yeah? And actually then, my only thought was just to write the book. Becoming a speaker, becoming a financial coach was not even in the equation then. But the book did very, very well. I think now you mentioned 100,000, but that was before. Now I think it's over 300,000 copies. So both, of course, BM and English. So it touched a lot of people's heart. Throughout the years, I've received a lot of last time email, now personal message, WhatsApp from people that the book have practically opened up their eyes, changed their ideas about money matters, and make them comfortable about money. And then, of course, that opened a whole new door. So I started to write more books on money matters, and then people started asking me to speak, just like this, asking to speak about money matters. So I spoke, and after a while, I realized, hey, the invitation were getting more and more. Then I see, hey, there's probably an opportunity here. So that's how I became a speaker on money matters. And I had to be, writing comes easy to me. It's my natural talent that God gave to me. I know it sounds, I know a lot of people hate to write, but not to me. It comes easy. The talent, kelebihan masing-masing. To me, writing. I know it sounds like a boast, but it's true. I can actually write anywhere, anytime. I don't need inspiration and all that. I can just write just off the skill. The kelebihan yang Tuhan berikan kepada saya to me. But speaking is a learned skill, and I had to become very good very fast because people were paying money to hear me speak. So I had to learn. Yeah. So that's how I became a coach. And of course, later on, since I was publishing books on money matters, I knew how to publish books. I said, why limit to my own book? Why not publish other people's books? So that's how we started, including, of course, Jamilah's books.
Yeah, thank you for that. And what I gather from both Encik Azizi and Madam Pui Yee is that pain does have value, right? Provided we decide to act on it, because both of you actually had a painful experience dealing with money, and that actually push you into doing something that is positive, right? So thank you for sharing. Madam Pui Yee, there are two important concepts that I saw in your promotion of financial literacy for parents to educate their children. And these two concepts of safety net and money diet. Could you enlighten us on how these two concepts are related to financial literacy and how we parents can teach our kids about these two concepts?
Sure, Pan Jamilah. So just to briefly explain, right? So to me, safety net means like having the emergency funds and you are well protected in case of any financial uncertainty. As you know, in today's world, there are a lot of financial uncertainty and there is no longer job security. Right now, it's only financial security, okay? And for money diet means that you have to start to be very careful and very strategic on where your money goes to. Now, how does it relate to kids? I would say it is very hard for them to relate the meaning of safety net, which means saving, which most parents, right, they save on their kids' behalf or they force their kids to save. Most of the time, when we ask kids, right, why do you save? You know what they said? They said, I don't know. My mommy asked me too, especially when it comes to Raya, Chinese New Year. Hey, give me all your ang pao, Raya, I save for you. But the kids can't use the money and they can't see the money. To some extent, right, they sort of like lose the confidence with the banks because money saved is money gone forever. Okay, that's how they put it. So that's why, to me, I would say that as a parent, we need to teach our kids the concept of pay yourself first, which is save first, spend later, and show the kids the benefits of saving by allowing them to use certain percentage of their money in their bank account to buy whatever that they want or they like, so that they see the purpose of saving. And by doing so, right, we actually raise a child who is motivated to save and not a child that we decide or we plan or we dictate what they should do with their money. Because if you do that, you are not equipping your child with money management skills. Okay. Now, when it comes to money diet, even more difficult. Okay, let me share with you two case studies. Okay, so parent A. So I have this parent, right, who always allow her son to spend whatever he wants in petrol station. So every time when she pumps petrol, she will let the son know, you can go into the convenience mart, you can buy whatever you want. Because she said that how much can he spend in the petrol station convenience marts, okay? So after attending my program, and I coach these parents that, you have to start teaching your child money management skill. So give him a budget. So after that, right, she start limiting her son that every time when he goes into the mart, he can only spend 5 ringgit maximum. So this kid, right, the first time when she implemented this, the son went in. After that, he came out and said, Mommy, with 5 ringgit, I can't buy anything. Can you increase? So the mom said, no, I can't. If this 5 ringgit, I'm sure 5 ringgit, you are able to buy something. It's just not the thing that you want. So if you really want it, why don't you save this 5 ringgit and next week when I bring you here again, you save and you spend on it. And the son got very furious and said that, Mommy, next time don't send me to any little tauke courses. Before this, you are very generous. After sending me, you are very good. That's what the son said. All right, this is parent A. So this parent B, right, share with me that she will tell her daughter that if you are very good for this one whole week, Monday to Friday, and you do not demand a lot of things, Mommy will bring you to Popular and you can spend whatever you want. You can just pick anything that you want. You can just spend. So the daughter really, very good for on real weekdays and weekend. The mommy will bring her to Popular store and allow her to buy anything that she wants. Again, this mommy also told me, how much can she spend in the bookstore? To me, you can spend a lot in the bookstore. Yeah, but the thing is, for me, right, I do not agree with such practice, because like Monday to Friday, you are teaching your child to be like on money diet. You don't spend. Then Saturday, I bring you to Popular bookstore, you can buy whatever you want. So in a way, right, this is what I see as splurging. I'm money diet, and for the day I can just spend whatever I want. Of course, she's been telling me that no, I've been telling I will reject my daughter if the purchase is very expensive, or I will tell her no, you can't buy this. But she allows her daughter to do so. Okay, so based on the parents, the audience that we have in this room, approach A and approach B, right? Which one do you think is the best? All right, if you think it is A, you might type in A in the chat box. You think it is B, you may type B. Between this parenting approach, both also I would say is regarding money, but they use different approach in teaching their children. Okay, so for me, right, I would say that yes, thank you, Miss Amy. Shahira also said yes. For me, right, the key lessons here is we need to equip our children with the ability to make wise decisions by knowing how to pay yourself first. That is, they always have to, whenever they get money from you, they have to save first before they spend, and they must know how to prioritize their money spending, what is needs and what is wants. And most importantly is you must give them a budget so that they learn how to spend within their means and learn what is the best way to optimize their money. All right, so this is what I would like to share regarding the how can we teach the kids, right? You know, in a way the concept of safety net and also money diet.
Yeah, I think that's certainly a food for thought, because when I look at you and I look at Azizi upbringing, money was not something that natural in terms of your exposure. You got to learn it through the hard way, and you are lucky enough to learn fast enough to be able to enjoy life then. I wanted to bring back now in terms of, now that we knew that we were not exposed to financial literacy at our young age. Now that we are in this position, and Madam has already highlighted about the concept of equipping children with budget and that sort of things. But what I wanted to ask is that, you know, the Malay proverb talks about melentur buluh dari rebungnya. When they are small, you could shape them, this big bamboo. You can't do that when they are already grown up. So just to relate a point, that I had a friend who works in a global environment. Yeah, he's earning lots, just like you all have been earning, and he only daughter. So when the daughter asked to buy a cup of Starbucks coffee, she was then about teenagers, and he said, "Dad, what's wrong about 12 ringgit of buying a Starbucks coffee?" So then the father said to her, "If you can earn 12 ringgit by yourself, then I'll buy Starbucks coffee for the rest of your life." So she gave that challenge to her child, to her only daughter. And lo and behold, the daughter couldn't really come up, because then he said that if you get something free, it's easy, then you don't appreciate. You will earn it when you appreciate. So Cik Azizi, my point to you now, what kind of things we should instill to the young minds about money, in addition to what probably Madam Pui Yee has mentioned, so that then they don't fall the same trap that we fall? Worse still, we might be borrowing to Along and all those for God's sake loan sharks, you know. So how can we help our youngsters? What do we need to instill to them, Cik Azizi?
Okay. It's a combination of the knowledge, financial knowledge to them. That's number one. Number two, and I think perhaps more critical, what we actually do. Our children, just like you and me, we watch what our elders do, our parents do.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think what we do will leave a more lasting impression than what we actually teach. Because I think almost all parents, even crooks, there are parents who are crooks, they are crooks, but they always preach good things to their children. You know, they
very true.
But their behaviors and all that don't match with what they say. So it have to be a combination of the actual knowledge on financial matters. But that, for example, in my case, I would say money is important. Money is important. Anyone who tells you different, anyone, don't listen to anyone who tells you any different. Money is very, very important. Money very important, but it's not the most important thing in our lives. It's not the second most important thing in our life. Money is still very important, but it's very important. What our lives now, what we have now, the car, the house, the ability to travel, to study where they want and all that, is enabled because of money. Of course, dengan izin Allah lah kan, dengan izin Allah. Tapi dalam konteks of money. So it is important. And to know what money can do and what money cannot do. Money can solve a lot of problems. A lot of things people call problems are not actually problems. Those are just costs. In terms that if you have money and if you're willing to spend part of that money, that problem will go away. So it's not a problem, it's just a cost. The very clear example now, if you don't have any money to buy food, to put food on the table, if you have money, that problem will go away.
Absolutely.
And then, but very important is the actual behavior, what we do. For example, when we make donations, basically every month, I always show to my children, okay, this month we are donating money, for example, to the Cancer Society. This month we to say the Heart Foundation, and of course lately because of COVID, to some. But I always tell them and show them about it. Not that to like to brag, to show off, but to know, that we actually have what money can do, and we actually using it to help others, help people.
Thank you,
So
I think that was very important. I love your example of donating, sharing, because I feel that is also a very important part of financial literacy for our children. How
yes,
money can actually bring them happiness when they spend on other people. It doesn't really,
yes,
how much you give matters less than the behavior itself, the giving itself, right? So thank you for that. Back to Madame Pui Yee. I love your example, the example that you gave just now. And I feel like this is such a common behavior amongst parents. Despite our pure intentions, we want our children to be successful and whatnot. But at the end of the day, because we have our own blind spots, despite wishing them well and thinking that we are leading them towards the right path when it comes to financial literacy, wanting them to develop a positive relationship with money, but we still find that lots of our youth, by the time they're in their 20s, they do run into financial problems. So if you could share with us, what are the common missteps or mistakes that you find parents making, so that they become aware of what these missteps are or oversights that the younger parents amongst us can avoid or change, so that they don't pass on these mistakes to their children. Over to you, Madam.
Yes, thank you, Jamilah. So to me, right, I would say the biggest mistakes that parent made will be putting financial literacy as the least priority and not being an effective financial role model to your child. I just want to share that when I first started this business, right, I would say the first year, I don't get any phone calls. And I get constant rejection from parents. When I tell them that, hey, you should teach your kids about money. They're like, what? Money also need to teach? Yeah, I teach them saving. No, I teach them how to save money. I teach them not to simply spend money. Yeah, I teach them. By enrolling my children to your course, will they help them to get A in maths? Will they help them to get better result in the academic? These are all the feedbacks that I always get from parents. So the first year, I would say that I don't really have much business, all right, from this financial education for kids. But thanks to the awareness raised by the media, our Bank Negara, that on the importance of financial literacy, then we start seeing parents start focusing on imparting important financial knowledge and skill to their children. But having said that, right, at the end of the day, parents are your child's best financial role model. So I would like to ask people in this room here, okay, also in the Facebook, how many of us here actually seek advices from our own parents regarding investment, regarding loans, etc.? How many of us here go back to our own parents and ask for the advices regarding finances? All right. So if let's say some of you here, you may give a thumbs up, in our Zoom chat, or you may say, yes, I do. All right. But I would like to say that most of us here, we don't really go back to our parents for any finances advices, because we know that our parents, they may not be capable or equipped to teach us. All right. So parents, I would like to emphasize here is, in terms of children, right, more is caught than taught. A very good example would be when we teach kids on like one of the important things is check and compare prices. And the kids told me that, hey, teacher, my parents never do that. Whatever they want, they just take from the shelf. They never look at the price. All right. And some parents, right, to a certain extent, they tell their children, "Ayya, you don't need to check and compare prices. It's not your money, it's my money. What? So you don't have to check and compare prices for me." That's what the parents said. So parents, don't complain when your kids spend your money without second thoughts, which most parents that enroll their children to my courses, they always complain that their children do not appreciate the value of money. So our own financial behavior today, I would say, that are influenced by our own parents, okay? And we are influencing our own children too by the way we talk and handle money. So if let's say parent, if you yourself right now, you are not good in managing your finances, you have to look for Azizi Ali, all right? Because he can coach you on that. And if let's say you want to help your child to achieve financial success, you may look for me in terms of teaching your children, in terms of how to become a effective financial role model. Because at the end of the day, right, I would say if you do not do something different, let's say whatever that you inherit from your parents on their money behavior and money skills, if you do not do something right now, you are passing it down to your children, and you'll be seeing the future you in them, when it comes to managing money, in terms of achieving financial success, and etc. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Madam Pui Yee. I find it very interesting. And if I may, I just wanted to ask you about, this regularly comparing prices and talking about money. Actually, I am also one of the guilty parties as a parent, that I did not discuss these things with my children when they were growing up, although now they are grown and managing themselves. Now, what actually stopped me from talking about such money matters, like, this item costs this much, that item costs that much, especially when we are, say, at the dinner table, is that I feel like if I do that, I am being very calculating. And I feel like, am I telling my kids, am I like overemphasizing the money part? Because at the end of the day, how do you strike that fine balance? Because you do want your kids to be aware of money. You do want them to manage money wisely. But at the end of the day, you don't want them to be overly bearing on money. So if you could respond to that, because I honestly, personally, I feel guilty when I say that this is how much this costs, is how much that costs.
Yeah, okay. To answer your question, right, I would say that a lot of parents will have the misconception where they tend to use the price as the benchmark. But I would like to share with you that to kids, they do not know what is expensive, what is cheap. To them, 4 ringgit, 40 ringgit, or 400 ringgit may be the same. Only we parents know the value, because we are the one who are earning the money, right? So I will always advise the parents that I don't really encourage my parents to talk only about pricing, but instead talk about the value. You know, something that is cheap to you, to me may be expensive because it has no value to me. You know, something that is expensive to you, to me is cheap because I see the great value, what I can benefit from that. So that's why if you keep on focusing on the price, right, that's what one Jamilah, I'll give you, you will be seen as very calculative because everything is about price tag. But when you start teaching your child to analyze, to justify based on the value that they can get from the purchase or from spending this money, it makes the whole thing easier, you know, because they start to have the ability to start thinking, to start deciding whether, you know, when I do this, does this bring what is the value that I'm getting, whether it's worth it or not. Just like donating, we have problem teaching children about donation because at this moment, right, they feel that they are deprived of things because parents always say no to them when they want to buy something. So they like to keep money to themselves. They only want to spend money on themselves. And when it comes to like sharing money, we ask them, whom do you share with? They said share with orphanage, share with old folks. Parents never being mentioned as a party to share money with, all right? So just like what Encik Azizi and just now you all mentioned that, you know, when you share money by donating, it brings happiness to you and the people around you, even though it's a small money, but there's a value in it, all right? So start talking about value instead of price so that you will not have a child that always keep on making decisions based on price tag. And at the same time, you are also equipping your child with the ability to justify and analyze on how to make wise money decision. All right, that's what I would like to share according to my experience.
Thank you. That's very interesting because you emphasize on value. And Azizi, this is now, world have moved forward. And I know your latest book that you mentioned, Money Changes Everything. That's one of your book title, kan? Now, let's bring ourselves, kids at the younger age now, the type of, you and I receive salary or whatever payment, but kids, they get income, what we may say income, is either through their duit raya and ang pao, or they get stipend, duit belanja pergi sekolah and that sort of things. So that is their first exposure to money. And I'm referring for my grandchildren who are now in Australia, and when it's something completely new because they take things for granted. Okay, so that is the income. Now, when you look at income, there's certainly, of course, it has to be spent, how much you spend. But I think before spending, there must be an element of saving. So which certainly missing in, I think, the way we have raised our children, that what Madam Pui Yee mentioned about donate. So so saving for yourself for rainy days, paying for yourself, spending for what you need rather than what you want, for instance. And then the other thing is the sharing element, yeah, or donating. Of course, I have another angle which they have not reached, like you did, is your investment, cryptocurrency, or some people. For me and my Jamilah, we put in tabung haji with the spirit of saying that, okay, this is for you to go for your hajj. So that is the kind of thoughts that we definitely want children to appreciate. So how would you help a young kid, you know, 6, 7 years old? By the way, they don't see money now, they see it in ATM or online phone now. But how do you help them to appreciate all this value of money so that then, as you said, retire rich and get rich faster in your book?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know about 7 years, 7 years old, 7 years. I suppose as a parent, you look back, I think most, if not all of us, always feel like there's so many things we didn't teach our children. Ada saja ilmu, ya. There's so many things, especially educators like you and me. We are so gung-ho on teaching others about money matters, like me. At the back of my mind all the time, no? Here I am teaching others about matters, but my own children, I didn't do it, so we'll feel guilty. We'll feel guilty because, of course, in my case, very obvious, it's financial matters because that's my expertise. Tapi I think most parents, they are, in fact, on the deathbed, has been research has shown, people are not scared about them dying. They are scared about who they left behind. How will my children survive, especially if their children is still young, so they're not scared of them dying. They are scared for the people they are leaving behind. So likewise, I too am guilty of that. I should have taught my children this. Tapi I've overcame that. So basically, what we can share is as I mentioned, the ilmu, the knowledge, and then our actual behavior. I tell them, I told them and repeated many times, the four critical knowledge they must know. Number one, how to be happy. Learn how to be happy. Number two, learn how to stay healthy. Of course, when you're young, 20, 30 years old, is no big deal. But as you grow older, it takes effort to stay healthy. Number three, how to get rich, how to stay rich. How to get rich, how to stay rich. And number four, how to have peace of mind. They must learn, they must know these four skills. The rest, other skills, if they have time, go ahead, learn them. But these are the four things that they must know, they must learn, they must master in order to have a fulfilling life.
Yeah, thank you, Azizi. I suppose staying healthy and happy do have relations to money. So back to, Madam Pui Yee, we know that children have different stages, young children, pre-teens, as well as teenagers. So how do we teach this concept of being financially free to children of different age when we are talking to them behavior-wise and whatnot? Over to you.
Okay, so for me, right, I always tell my kids and my students that the concept of financial freedom means having more than what you need, and you are free to do things that you want. So having said that, right, I do not place the importance on like how much money you have, like 1 million, 2 million is considered financially if you are considered rich, but rather will be the lifestyle that you want to live and you want to lead. All right. So I would say that everyone's financial freedom threshold will be different depending on your lifestyle. But of course, right, when you talk about this financial freedom to kids, right, they won't be able to relate at this point of time. So what we can do right now is equipping our children and training them to have the right money habits and mindset. The youngest kid that I have learning about the 3 money jar system, learning how to budget is as young as 3 years old. At 3 years old, the mommy started giving her pocket money, all right, and she made her to allocate according to the 3 jar system, which is save, spend, and share. So at 3 years old, right, when she wants to buy something, the mommy will say, yes, you can buy. She won't say no. You see, yes, you can buy, but we must check whether we have enough money in our saving jar or in our spending jar. You see, so she will actually go home and calculate with the kid, with her daughter, if she has enough money. Sometimes she doesn't have enough, but the mommy said, yes, we have enough, because kids are 3 years old, they wouldn't know. So, yeah, we have enough. Yeah, we can go to the store next week to purchase it. And sometimes when they don't have enough, the mommy will say, we don't have enough. We need to save another 2 weeks to 3 weeks before we can buy that thing. All right. So when she do this, right, she actually teaching her child that we need to save money in order to get something. And the most important element is delay gratification, which most kids they don't have right now. Kids nowadays, they don't have the patience because they tend to get things easily and immediately. So when you make your child to save to get something that they want, you are teaching them how to weight. All right. So that's why this girl, right, when she came to my classes at 6 years old, I can see a big difference. When other 6 years old kids keep on spending in my class because we have a shopping store, she herself like analyzing how much money she has, what is the thing that she should buy, etc. So I can see a really big difference in this 6 years old kid because the mom already start training her at the age of 3 years old. And I would say that, right, teaching kids is far more easier compared to teaching teens or the young adults, because they don't listen to you anymore. As parents, they don't listen to you anymore. They listen to their friends, influencer, YouTuber more than they listen to you, you see. So you don't have any control on them on how they should decide how they should spend their money. But when they are still young, they still listen to you, and you are still there as their hero, the financial role model, so that they listen to you. It's not too late, and it'd be easier to teach. Compare you send them to my classes during teenage years or young adults, because that time all the bad financial habits or mindset already formed. You can't expect that sending them to my program for 2 days, I can flush out all the toxin, out of their body. It's impossible. All right. So that's why I would like to advise parents that start them early, so that they have enough time to build good foundation and good relationship with money. Yeah, that will be my advice to the parents.
Yeah, I think that's also good in the sense that children begin to appreciate money that certainly can help them to get what they want. So they have to earn for it rather than getting it the easy way.
Yes.
So and so that is one of the challenge of we human being. Then I suppose, Cik Azizi Ali, what I wanted to help parents to tell their children that, I know you say money changes everything. Money is important, but many people fail. Their life derail. They just sort of gone astray because money is controlling them. So I think we also need to strike the balance of how this money can help you, but also it can potentially destroy you if you misuse it. So money has its own way. So maybe how would you advise parents who have youngsters so that then they have that mindset of ensuring that how to manage this money when they have a lot of it, or when they are already now feeling that they can control everything. I don't need you, mom and dad. I have already enough money to handle myself. So let's just give some thoughts on how can we help this, having this balancing mindset for the children and all the parents also.
But of course, the key word here is balance. Is balance. But again, the same answer. The actual knowledge what money can do, what money cannot do, what money cannot do. I must add though that people who turn when they have lots of money, bertukar rupa, bertukar behaviors and all that. Actually, it's not the money, it's them. It is them. A good person, when he's broke, will become a better person when he has a lot of money. A bad person, a crook, when he is broke, will become a bigger crook when he has lots of money. Yeah. The money is an amplifier. It will amplify what's inside the heart all the time. For men, for example, men, I'm just stating, bukan stating. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. Men who lelaki Islam lelaki Islam who have 3 or 4 wives, not because they have money, because all the time it's their intention to have 3 or 4 wives, 3 or 4 wives. So it's not the money per se, money per se. It is them. So likewise, again, I have to say, we can guide our children, we can share the knowledge, we can guide. In the end, it is them who will make the decision, the call. Even our own children, the same father, the same mother, grew up the same house, same environment, but they have different behaviors. Different behaviors. Different behaviors. In theory, they should all be replicas of each other. But you and I know that's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. And even to complicate matters, and I suppose throw a spanner in the works. In every family, there's always a black sheep. There's always a black sheep. And the reverse, I've met family who are, let's say, not very good. A father who is a con man and all that. Yet, out of this many children, yang memang not so good children, because they grew in that environment. But one of them is very, very good. So he was the white sheep of that family. So I don't know, but I suppose early education will help immensely. Education in the context of what we're speaking today. Me, Pui Yee, I think all of us have been exposed to financial management at a young age. We would have become a lot faster. On the other hand, I want to add something. On the other hand, today there is too much information, too much knowledge on money matters. People who are not even financially, because they're rich, that poor, that they suddenly they want to become financial advisor. Just because they read one book, one or two books, So today there's too much information. So basically, at the end, I tell my children, yes, you have to learn about money matters. You have to learn how to manage your money. You have to learn, obviously, how to invest. But for quality advice, pay money. Don't get free information. Free information, because free information from YouTubers, for influencers, the information may be actually incomplete. They may actually be wrong, and they may actually be biased. So if you want quality information, pay money. I see, maybe to buy books, read books on money matters, attend talks, attend seminars, such like what we're doing, or go to hire actual coach to guide you on money matters.
I think you have really emphasized that the importance of knowledge and education throughout the whole discussion, to equip the parents to do not take things for granted, do not just allow the system flows and that sort of things. And again, with this world of technology and knowledge and Google around, there is an acronym called TMI. Too much information. TMI is too much information. And the thing is to find the right quality of information. And again, Madam Pui Yee said just now, no one wants to pay for her course. Some parents say, why should I pay money for you to teach my children about money? I'm wasting my money to tell. So I think at the end of the day, that's where I think we parents have to have that long realization. I think I want to shift gear now to some of the questions that is slowly trickling in from the chat, and maybe Jamilah can kick off now.
Yes, there are questions from Juan Shazlinda as well as Erin Wong. These are questions about paying children money, right? So I shall combine these two questions. In the current situation where the kids don't go to school, and in Malaysia, normally we would give them pocket money for their spending. So when they are at home, are there other ways where they can earn money, right? And whether they should be paid for the chores that they do at home. I know that there are at least two schools of thought here. And of course, for me and my husband, we have our own view, but we would love to hear from you, Madam Pui Yee.
And also Cik Azizi, to think about that,
whether we should be paying children for the chores that they're expected to do at home.
Okay, so let me start first. So I would say that a lot of parents, they are actually, have a conflict whether they should pay their kids for doing house chores, so that they can learn to, to learn how is it like to earn money. All right. So I would say that it is a yes or no. Yes, you should pay your child. You can pay your child to do house chores, but not on those chores that is within their responsibility or maybe their capability. All right. So for example, let's say it's their job, it's their responsibility to make their own bed, to do their homework, or to keep their toys. It's their responsibility. You should not be paying them. All right. But if it's not their responsibility, for example, washing your car, but right, you are the one should wash your own car, right? But now your son or your daughter volunteer that he wants to wash your car. Yes, I think that you can pay them. All right, you can pay them. Or maybe maybe like a 6-year-old kid, they offer to wash dishes. All right. So I might like my case, I only start washing dishes when I'm 9 to 10 years old. But as a 6-year-old kid offer, and I'm okay to let her try, I will be paying her for washing the dishes. But when these 6 years old, right, reach 13, 14 years old, I won't be paying them anymore. Because as a teen, right, it's family responsibility that you should wash the dishes, as a family responsibility. I will not be paying you anymore. All right. So I would say that parents, you may pay your child by doing house chores, but you must always mix the expectation and the rules right. Just like when you go for a job interview, your boss will tell you this is your salary range, what is your job scope, what is your KPI. So everything has to be communicated to your child early, so that you will not face the problem that they keep on asking you for money for every single thing that you ask them to do. All right, talk to them, make them understand. And I would say that it really helps if all the rules and all the the system are being set upfront. Your child, you will not face this problem. Okay. And also a lot of parents will always share with us that right now they are not going to school, you're not bringing them to supermarket. Shall we still giving them pocket money? So again, I would say this another misconception, okay? Because your child's spending is not just limited to school, All right, even though we stay at home, your child stay at home, expenses still flowing out, right? Money still flowing out from our pocket, right? Because we still need to pay for food, we still need to pay for electricity. The same for your child as well. You are still spending money on your child. Just that the expenses is not through them, but it is through you, the parent. So I would say that parents, sometimes you may also try to pass some of the expenses to your child. So I would like to give an example will be, let's say, for example, before the pandemic, when the kids are still going to school. So maybe you give them 10 ringgit pocket money, because that includes the money to be spent in the school. But right now, they are not going to school. So you may reduce their pocket money. Just like some of us here, parents here, we're also experiencing pay cut, right? We're also experiencing income reduction. So your child also need to understand that why their allowance reduced, so that they will not have the entitlement mindset that, oh, my parents, they are obligated to give me 10 ringgit every week, so that they don't have the entitlement mindset. So you can share with them, take this opportunity to tell them that what is happening right now because of COVID, what is happening right now. So I have to reduce your pocket money. So they may not be spending as much as before on the spending part, but they are still able to practice the saving and also the sharing part. Okay, so that when they want to buy something which is very expensive, they still have savings that they can use, all right? So that they are contribute to the purchase, all right? And they save to get the things. And when it comes to sharing, when they want to buy gifts for their friends, family members, Father's Day, Mother's Day, or donation, right now a lot of people needs help. They can use the money from their sharing jar to share, all right? So not giving money at all to your children will not help them to gain money management skill. Just like you want to teach your child to ride a bike, you need to give them a bike to ride, right? So if you want your child to learn how to manage money, you have to give them money to manage. And it can be adjusted based on the situation, based on your capability and your affordability, all right? But I would say that do continue to give them pocket money, but you may reduce on the spending part so that they have money to save and to share. And sometimes at home, you can also play some games with them. Like for example, parents, you are still doing your grocery shopping, right? Sometimes you also order from GrabFood or Food Panda, right? So why not like you give your child, hey, like for example, Miss Amy, for example, hey dear, I have 100 ringgit budget for our family dinner. Can you go to Grab or can you go to KFC, McDonald's website and see what can we order with this 100 ringgit? There are still things that you can do to teach your child, at home about how to be good in money managing. All right. So this is my my tips for the parents in this room, and I hope it helps.
What I gathered is that the mundane chores that they have to do, yeah, you don't pay for them. I know this is happening because at one time in my case, when my family the maid fired herself, so the maid ran away, so we had to do our own chores, and the biggest issue in any house is CMS, clothing management system. Yeah, that's from end to end, from the dirty clothes all the way until it's been folded. One of the activities there is ironing, especially my clothes going to the office and that sort of things. So we decided to outsource it. And outsourcing means ironing by the laundry that will cost 1 ringgit per shirt. So my fourth son or my fourth child said that I'm willing to do at 80%. Or rather, no, he's willing to do it, to iron my clothes at 1 ringgit to gain that pocket money. And I said to him, because you are not an expert yet, I will only give you 80%, 20% discount for in case you fail and damage my shirt. Again, two school of thoughts. Do you give money for this or do you want that chivalry? Cik Azizi, what do you think, Cik Azizi? Will it have an impact when they grow up that they see that everything that they want to do, I must have a return. Otherwise, I will not give wholeheartedly. And what's your thought on this?
Both of you are correct. In fact, I think both of you are much better than me, better than Jerry. I have a very unique problem. I must admit that my children, basically, because we have maids all the while, so they never had to clean the house, never had to do chores. Actually, I have this very unique problem that I can't tell my children that, hey, I don't have money. No, it didn't joke. It didn't rhyme with, hey, you're teaching, you are the millionaire's coach. How can you tell us you don't have any money?
Oh.
So the line, the parents are way richer than me, far wealthier than me, but they can tell the children with a straight face, go, oh, we have to be careful, we have to know because we don't have so much money, although they're very rich, and the children may believe them, but me, unfortunately, I don't have that, because today with Facebook Live and all that, basically I'm in the media talking about money, everybody's calling me the millionaire's coach and all that. So I have this very unique situation that, I cannot use that line, but basically everybody else can use this line. You don't have to tell your children how wealthy you really are. It didn't help. But as far as chores, I think either way is fine. My children didn't. Me myself, although did not come from a rich family, but I did not do chores. I did not do chores much. There are some of you, but there were none chores as in young that I have to do every day. Basically, none pretty much lah. Basically, in the kampung, I don't know whether it is right or wrong. But the thing is, although I was not raised to do chores, but now as an adult, I did it. I'm also perplexed. I say, how can one of the things after I take a shower, I make the bed myself, I make myself. Even my house now, today, I am the one making, we don't have maids now. So I am the one making the bed, not my wife. So and I'm thinking myself, a bit odd because I was never raised. I never did it. Never raised to do all this household work. Not trained, and I never did it for many years. Yet I suppose I always tell myself because I grew up. I didn't just grow old. I grew up. So I suppose.
Thank you.
But
for
of
that.
course, having stated that, if you had the guidance like Pui Yee and of course Ahmad and Jamilah saying, I think it would help much better that you set your children on the right footing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Encik Azizi. I feel that all families are unique, and actually, as Madam Pui Yee did mention right in the beginning of this session, the children actually caught on more of our behavior rather than what we tell them, right? So I suppose it's something that you have observed your elders doing, and for that matter, we learned a lot from our elders that way. There is a question from the audience from Madame Amy, and I would like to present this to Madame Pui Yee. In a current situation where we are not able to bring the child out to the supermarket and other places, and it seems like we are limited to teach them how to plan a budget, right? So how do we circumvent? How do we teach them how to budget when we are not at liberty to bring them out for that budgeting experience? Over to you, Madame Pui Yee.
Okay, so just now I mentioned that that we can use family meals. Of course, now all of us stay at home. I'm sure some of us do order takeaway, right? So what we can do is that when it comes to the family meals, you may give your child a budget. Like for example, I mentioned, like we are going to spend 100 for tonight's dinner. So you get them to browse through the Grabs, make them to, with 100 ringgit, what can they order, what is a decent meal, etc. So you may do that. And secondly, will be also like family grocery shopping. All right. So at this moment, I would say that parents, most of us are doing everything on our own. Know how we budget, how we manage our family finances and planning. But kids don't see that. All right. Kids only see you browsing your Shopee or your Lazada chart, adding things to the chart, but they don't see how you manage money behind. So I would say that parents, you have to involve your children in your family finances planning, and you can always be creative, how to involve them in such activity. For example, this month, every week, for example, you will have to spend maybe 100 or 200 ringgit on grocery items. So why not you pass this job to your child? You tell them that, okay, this is my shopping list. This week, I need to buy meal, I need to buy bread, I need to buy this. So teach your child how to go into those Aeon shopping catalogs or Tesco catalogs, so that they can learn, how to check and compare prices within the 200 ringgit, what they can buy. Maybe Dutch Lady is having promotion now, so we should spend on Dutch Lady instead of going for Farm Fresh, etc. There are a lot of teachable moments, right, that we can teach your child, especially right now. With the Bendera Putih campaign, you may also leverage and this opportunity to tell your child that, that's why we always must have safety net, why we must always pay ourselves first, so that when it comes to all these emergency financial uncertainty, when Daddy Mommy lost our job, we still have a safety net for us to get through our life for the next 6 to 8 months. So a lot of things that we as parents, we can utilize as teachable moments, just that you need to be creative, all right, on how to do that with your child.
Yeah, I think certainly at the end of the day, the ultimate responsibility for raising these children to become human beings and able to fend themselves is us, the parents. And I really feel that before I give the speakers their last remarks on encapsulating this session today, we already spent more than 1 hour responding to some of the questions. So I felt that it has been enlightening and enriching when Encik Azizi talks about education and the value and the knowledge of know-how to manage not only money but life per se. Madam, you talk about this budgeting and saving, and that's a lot of practical tips that all of us needs to exercise consciously. I mean, Jamilah and we started at a young age for the 6 children that we went to the bookstore and we said to them, you got 50 ringgit budget and go and spend whatever books you like. Still come and me to approve so that I don't want to buy nonsense book. If that's not enough money, you go and talk to one another so that then you can discuss and think about how you can do it better in case the book costs more than 50 ringgit. So there are a lot of possible, as you have highlighted, during the current pandemic situation as well. I mean, when we had our trip to New Zealand once upon a time, I appointed my daughter as the accountant. So each transaction of buying fuel, stopping over, getting food, these are great opportunities, and you assign this one person so that then they start to expose on these things. So our job, ladies and gentlemen, is to be able to help them to discover the value of money. I think Jamilah, when you mentioned about delay gratification, this is one of the books that she wrote, which is about Groovy Guide on Parenting, where it talks about learning to wait to grow, learning to wait to grow money, because I mean, there are so many possible practical things family can do. I must say to everyone that we have what we call the pizza, because everybody loves pizza for some reason, and they leave their money in their pockets. So when it is in the washing machine, we found money that goes to the treasurer of the house, Baitul Mal of the house. So if they want to eat pizza, put as much donation in that box, and we'll enjoy one of the weekend. So at the end of the day, you make money as something, a joy for them, something for them to learn, and something for the family to be together in terms of having a memorable childhood to them when it comes to money. So let me give some final say to the speakers, their last remark. Although there is one question in Facebook, Cik Azizi, that I think you need to comment. Dia kata, can Cik Azizi give any tips, ideas of business that can help us Malaysian to survive now in this crucial time of pandemic? This is a probably hot topic. It deserves a session by itself, but I'm just orang kata curi ayam kat sini lah. Maybe you have some tips for final remarks, and then Madam Pui Yee, and then we'll close with some announcement what some of the future program that are going to be held. Over to you then, Cik Azizi. Okay, I can give the answer to this question at the same time promotion for myself. Yes, please. Yes, okay. Please. Yes, this please. To my pleasant surprise as well. Yeah. So just like everybody else, I'm basically stuck in the house for the past one year plus. So what I've been doing for the past 1 year plus, of course, selling books. The sale of my books through Shopee and PG Mall have way better, I think few 100% better than the sales of the books from the bookstores. So that is excellent. That's how we managed to pay your royalty recently. Before we had a problem collecting money from the bookstores. I don't blame them because the bookstores also, they run short of money as well. Yeah? So we couldn't collect. The books were sold, but we couldn't. But now Shopee and PG Mall, they basically cash on delivery, cash on delivery. So that's good. And one of the things I'm a master dealer with Public Gold. Public Gold sells gold. So in the last 1 year, I've been active doing that because all is online. Yeah, Public Gold. This is the crazy thing. Yeah? Most other companies' sale has dropped down. Public Gold, the sales went through the roof by a few 100%. So the answer to that, one thing, you can consider joining me as a dealer. We'll sell gold together, get rich together. So please contact me. Please contact me. This is actual. Yeah, this is actual. This is actual what I'm doing. Purely online. I think the last 1 year, over 800 clients, all online. This crazy, insane. But it's happened.
you did mention, to join you. So if you could just
Key in.
key in the chat,
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay,
they
I'll
can
type
go
my
to
phone number.
phone
Yes,
number
yeah.
or your website, and I think that's a good.
WhatsApp lah.
That's an excellent. By the way, I've just been introduced with cryptocurrency also, and
Yes.
to buy now it costs you a few hundred thousands already, and you just can get like zero in a small, minute percentage.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe that.
Cryptos, you can make tons of money, right? But you can also lose everything
Yes,
if
yes.
you don't have the right knowledge.
Yeah.
The rules of money lah. Everything that will give you an opportunity to make lots of money also gives you the automatic chance to lose all that money. The
Yeah.
answer is, of course, knowledge and experience. So get the right knowledge, sufficient knowledge, enough research on the subject matter.
Yeah.
I
think
first started investing in Bitcoin when it was below 1,000 ringgit. I'm sorry, $1,000 in 2017. Now the value is about over $30,000.
Yes.
$30,000.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
if you see me driving a Rolls Royce, you know what happened. No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but that's what you have expounded to people. Retire rich and get rich faster in your book again and again.
Yes.
It's also how people now be smart enough to let you control money instead money control you. So I think you send a very strong message that despite the pandemic, there is opportunities. You cannot say that sudah tak ada lagi harapan kan. That's how this. I think this COVID has taught us human being to really survive, but also be able to thrive if you know how to manage it. Yeah.
True. Also a time to reflect what is actually important in our lives.
Yeah. True. Okay, Madam Pui Yee, your final remarks or say in terms of what all of us have gone through, what you have shared, hearing from Cik Azizi, some of the wisdom and the questions from the folks, maybe let us know, what do you think?
So my key takeaway, usually this is what I usually advise all the parents out there is, I understand that we as parents, right now, we want to give the best for our children, and compared to our parents' time, right now we are quite well to do and we are able to provide. Nevertheless, while we are providing for our children, we are fulfilling their needs and their wants, do not rob the opportunity for them to learn how to be financially independent and financially sufficient. If you do not involve them in finances matter, you do not start teaching them right now, soon or later, you will have a child, who have the entitlement mindset that everything is provided by the parents. I don't need to save because I get things easily. I don't need to spend money. When we teach our children the concept of save, spend, and share, when it comes to the 3 money jar, some kids tell me, teacher, I don't need spending jar. I said, why? Because I don't need to spend money. I don't need saving jar. I asked why? Because I already have everything. And some to the teens, I will ask them, how many of you want to be rich in the future, having a lot of money? And we do have some teens who doesn't even raise up their hand. And you know what they said? Teacher, already rich. Already rich. But rich is because of your parents. It's not you. You are not earning your own money yet, you see. So do not give your child the wrong message, you see, that even though we are able, we can provide. But at the same time, it is also our job to equip our children to be financially independent and financially sufficient by being a good role model for their children, and also help them to gain money management skills. All right. So this is what I would like to advise to all the parents in today's webinar.
Thank you very much, Madam. I feel that those are wise words, and maybe there are parents or educators in the audience who would like to follow up with you. So if you would like to share your contact details, and any programs, any upcoming programs that you're organizing, then please go ahead.
Yeah, virtual program. Yeah.
Sure. So just to share with the parents in this session that right now we are doing our programs online only. So throughout this pandemic period from last year March until now, we are consistently running our online workshops and also our online classes for kids aged 8 to 12 years old. So if you would like to find out more about our programs or enroll your child into our programs, you may WhatsApp me, which I have actually written the details in this chat group. Or alternatively, you may also go to our Facebook, type Little Tauke, and you can just drop a message in our inbox, and we will contact you for the next course of action.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for your sharing and enlightening. So what we wanted to share also now, because those are for the 8 to 12 years old, so we have our series talks, and if you can see my slide now, ladies and gentlemen, today we have this session. Basically, our panelists has helped us to give a higher awareness level. I'm sure you will now start to look for books, maybe even attend courses or even enroll your children to the Little Tauke program. But we also receive feedback from our young executives, and these are fresh graduates, and they are now feeling, and the example is from my son, they just got a job early this year, overwhelmed with, you know, EPF, zakat, tax, and then all the donations, and then investment, currency, shares, not shares. So I think what we decided now on a Saturday, the 24th, we're going to invite two speakers on this subject. We had Soraya, the Ringgit or Ringgit blogger. She's been doing quite well, but unfortunately she had an engagement. So we are inviting another blogger called Dear Duit, Nurul. So she is also a financial analyst, and also Jaslina Jerry. She's also a financial planner, been talking to the millennials group in terms of how do they manage their finances, how do they plan it, how do they manage debt, for that matter, credit cards, you know, making smart investment and preparing for their future marriage and all these sorts of things related to money. So I think these are easily for the late teens and the early 20s, or even people are in the 20s and early 30s will be good then. For next month, this is also a talk that we are organizing about guiding your child to their future career. Ladies and gentlemen, jobs are now disappearing fast, either because of digitalization, artificial intelligence, and it will have a different shape. Our job now is, we don't want to, you know, tell our children to learn about this career, this job, something that they want to do, and that what they want to do will disappear in the next 20 years. That's going to be a serious challenge for our children. So we are inviting two figures to be able to share with us. One is from the Yayasan Hasanah Khazanah, who have been engaging our top scholars, Malaysian top scholars, to university. So what kind of education that they will be sponsoring to help the nation in the long run. And also Shahrizal, she's the senior client partner, but he's also a member in the PM's Office on National Employment Council, because this is, again, looking forward and how we want parents to manage their expectation on what jobs their children would be. So I think Jamilah will send a link separately later, so that then all of us would be able to try and be able to, you know, learn more. And I take it from Cik Azizi that continuous learning is never something that we will stop in our life. As long as we are breathing, as long as we have the mental capacity to think, learning and educating ourselves will be a mandatory. So no one retires from reading. No one must retire from educating themselves. And no matter how white or black the color of your hair, you shall never stop improving your understanding and learning and keeping up yourself. The pandemic is a fantastic opportunity now to read as many books, to do your bucket list of where, because you cannot go anywhere now. Last time we'll say we are so busy flying all over the place. Azizi will say that now he's no longer sitting in a cockpit, he's sitting in his own house. And I think probably this is a time to pause. A great way to pause yourself, and a great way. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have spent already a valuable 1.5 hours. It didn't feel the time at all. I mean, the two great panelists has really provided strong gems. I would call POW, not prisoner of war, but pearls of wisdom, which I think it has certainly provided us and shed us some light on how we raise the future younger generation. I hope that this younger generation, one day when they speak like Madam Pui Yee and Encik Azizi, to say that, oh, I didn't go through that way. I was able to be taught by my parents, and I went to classes and I read books, and that's why I am not someone who feels misery or I feel problems in dealing with my life when it comes to money matters. Let's hope that this financial literacy program has provided you with some tips, and we welcome you. Any feedback, go to our Cool Mom Super Dad. Oh, I did not mention the last thing, that we are also having our book sales when it comes to so it's free now. So I would like the postage for you to get any of the books, and Azizi would see some of his production also, Ibu Cool and Cool Mom and Cool Boys. So this, and then Jamilah move on to some additional books. So I think, again, go to Shopee, I would say, to get some of these books, and then we will also, and by the way, this it's a discount also, it's a free delivery, and hopefully you all will be able to take time during the pandemic. Once again, thank you very much. All the best, and thank you from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you. If you, sorry, stop.